Hey there internets, I'm Michael and today on Toucan Play That Game I'm going to take you through a game of Scythe, and I have two copies of the game here, and that's because we're currently running Toucan Win That Game, where we have two copies of this game up for grabs. So if it's before the 22nd of September 2016, do be sure to click the link in the description to enter the competition for your chance to win this amazing game. So let's take it to the table. So I have already set up the game here. If you need to learn how to do this, do watch my previous video teaching you how to play the game. And I'm going to be the white faction here. I'm going to be the mechanical Republic of Polania with Anna and Wojciech. And their special ability is Meander. So when I take one of these encounter cards, I actually get to pick two of the options on there rather than just one. My objectives are King of the Hill, which is to control the factory at the end of my turn and have the most power, or Divide and Conquer, which means that I have 0 factory cards and control 2 territories adjacent to the factory at the end of my turn. Then Pixel is going to be the industrial Saxony Empire with Gunther, Nacht and Tag. Tag's much easier to say than the rest of that name. I don't know why they've made it so difficult. And her special ability is Dominate. There is no limit to the number of stars that she can place from objectives and from combat. So no limit here of 1 or just 2. She could do all 6 in combat. She could do both of her objectives rather than just 1. Pixel's objective cards are Technological Breakthrough, which requires her to have 1 factory card and 0 upgrades. And also Send One Back as a Warning, which means that you force an opponent's worker to retreat and still have at least 7 power after doing so. I start with 3 popularity and Pixel will start with 2. And I have 2 power and Pixel has 1. And our randomised building bonus is to build on tunnels. As Pixel has the industrial board, she will be going first, and the first thing she's going to do is a move action. And she's going to move a worker 1 space to there. And she's going to move her character 1 space to there. Then it's my turn, and obviously I'm going to copy her, and I'm also going to do a move action. And I'll move a worker there, and my character there. And that's me done. Which brings us back to Pixel, and this time she will produce. And still no one has anything for any of the bottom actions. We're only doing the top actions at the moment. And she only has 2 territories, so there's no real choices here. So she'll just produce on those. She gets a person there, and a bit of metal there. Now, I'm sure at some point I'll stop copying Pixel, but that point's not yet. So I'm going to produce, and same as Pixel, I have no real choices. So one of the places I will produce a person, which will go on this one here, and then this one here, I get myself a little bit of wood. And then Rogue will do a trade action, and she will pay her coin to get 2 metal that she'll sit with the rest of her metal there. So I did say I'd stop copying Pixel eventually, and that time is now because I'm going to move. And I'm happy with where everyone is except for my character. So I'm just going to move them 1 space to join my workers here. And then that's the end of my movement. So I resolve the encounter. And the encounter options I have are to steer the disoriented mech through the fog with a lantern, gaining 2 oil and 1 popularity. Pay the stranded man for his mech, pay $4 to deploy 1 mech. Shout nonsense until the mech comes close enough for you to rob it, pay 2 popularity, and gain $2 and 2 resources. So I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pay the $4 to deploy a mech, and pay the 2 popularity to gain $2 and 2 resources. And I'll deploy my speed mech that gives me +1 hex per movement, and he'll join the rest of my guys on this space here. Then I pay 2 popularity to gain $2 and any 2 resources, and I'm going to pick 2 wood, which I feel should go to my little woodcutter here. And that's not all, because I have free wood. So I will pay my free wood in order to do the build action. And I'm going to build my mine. And it can go in this rather crowded hex here with everyone else. And Pixel's then going to choose to produce, which still has no cost for it just yet. But this time she's going to produce 2 people, so next time she produces there will be a cost. And her 2 people go here, and she gets 1 metal here. Then she's actually going to use 3 of these metal to do the bottom action. She's going to pay the 3 to deploy a mech, and she's going to go for her underpass mech, which allows movement between any mountain she controls and any tunnel. And seeing as it likes mountains, I think it should start in this mountain here. And obviously Pixel's so fantastic, I've just got to go back to copying her, so I will also produce, and same as her, I'll be producing 2 workers into this rather crowded hex just here, and I'll be putting a wood there. And I can't do the bottom action, so back to Pixel, who will do a move action and won't have any wood to build with. And she'll move her character into here and one of these workers into there, which means she's finishing her move on encounter space, so she gets an encounter card. And the options she has are to take photos for the overly enthusiastic soldiers, gain 2 metal and 1 popularity. Hire a mercenary to join your group, pay $3 to enlist a recruit. Practice your shooting at the unsuspecting targets, pay 2 popularity to gain 4 metal. And she's going to go for gain 2 metal and 1 popularity. So she'll sit the metal in this mountain space here and up to 3 on popularity. And why break the tradition of copying Pixel when I don't have to? So I'm going to move 2. So to start with, my character's going to use the mine to travel to this tunnel and then move a second hex to there because I've unlocked speed. Then this mech is going to pick up all 4 of these workers, take them over into this field here, and then go back. This time Pixel will produce. So here she gets 2 metal, and then this is the only other hex she can get, so she'll get 3 workers, which uncovers all the costs, so it's going to be really expensive for her to produce from now on. But also means she has 8 workers out, so places the first star of the game. And she's not done there, because she's going to spend 3 metal in order to deploy a mech. And she's going to go for her speed mech into this town just here, ready to carry away all these useful workers. And surprise, surprise, I'm going to copy Pixel's master strategy once again by producing. And I only have workers here and here, so that's where I'll produce. So I get 1 wood and 4 food, which gives me enough food to enlist. So I pay 4 food to gain a recruit, which might as well be my enlistment recruit. And I'll place him on the popularity space of these options, putting me up to 3 popularity tied with Pixel. So Pixel is going to pick the move action, and she doesn't have any wood to build yet, but we'll see what happens. And she's going to move her character and this mech, and she has speed, so she can move them each 2 hexes. So she's going to also use the mech to carry all these workers and go 1 to this mountain, and then use underpass to go all the way over here. So that's a rather intimidating move from Pixel there, and although I am going to copy her again by doing a move, I don't think it will be quite as aggressive as what she just did. In fact, it's going to be pretty defensive because I'm going to use 1 movement to go with my mech to this tunnel here, and because I have speed, I will then move him to there, so he can be protecting my character a little there, because I want to move my character one space to the factory. And that will then end my movement, which means I get to look at the factory cards and pick one to keep. And these are the three options of factory cards we have. As all factory cards do, they've got the same bottom power, which is move one unit 2 spaces. So the top actions though, we've got spend 2 coins to get a recruit and a power, spend a combat card to gain any free resources, or spend a combat card to gain free money. And I think I'm just going to go for the combat card to gain free money one. Which means it's the end of my turn, and I do control the factory territory, and I have the highest power. It's only 1, but it's still higher than Pixel's, which means I have completed this objective card. I am King of the Hill. I control the factory and have the highest power, which means I can place a star on the triumph track here under the objective space. So we're now tied a star apiece, and we're finally back round to Pixel. She will do a bolster action, which means she has to pay 1 coin, and she gains 2 power. I will then use my newly acquired factory card space that I have no idea what it is, some sort of mech with lightning shooting out the top. So I have to pay a combat card, so I'll do that. And I gain 3 coins, and then I can move 1 unit 2 spaces. So my character will go 1, 2, and then because I have speed I can move an additional hex, so I'll go to there, and that's then the end of my turn, and I'm on an encounter space, so I will get an encounter card to resolve. And the options this gives is to pet the reindeer and flirt with the locals at the refinery, gaining $2 and 1 popularity. Stock up oil for the journey ahead, pay $2 to gain 4 oil. Or convince the soldier that reindeer aren't real, pay 2 popularity to enlist 1 recruit. And I think what I'm going to do here is take the top option and the bottom option because my faction allows me to. So I will gain $2 and then a popularity, but then I need to lose 2 popularity in order to gain a recruit. And I'll go for my deploy recruit because I feel Pixel might be doing that often. And my immediate reward will be 2 combat cards. And Pixel is then going to move, moving her mech and her character into this hex here, along with my mech. So we're going to have a battle. And I only have 1 power available to contribute, and Pixel only has 2. But we both have a lot of cards. Because I have 1 combat unit, I can use a maximum of 1 card, and Pixel can use a maximum of 2 cards. And so this is Pixel's dial here, and she has, so she's contributed 0 power on the dial, but she has used 2 cards. So Pixel's got 5 power in total, and then me, well, I also contributed 0 power, and I have thrown in a card though. I threw in a 4 power card, so my total is 4 power. Meanwhile, Pixel's total is 5. So Pixel has 1, which means I have to retreat, which means I go back to my home base. But because I used some power, be it from card or from power dial, I get to take a combat card as compensation. And for winning, Pixel gets to stay here, claiming that territory, but also she can place a star on the triumph track under the combat, and because of her faction's ability she can place as many of these as she wins combats rather than being limited to 2. So with the warmonger Pixel's turnover, now it's me, and I'm just going to do a little bit of farming, produce, but this does cost me a power to do so, taking me down to 0 power. And I've still got no choice, so the 2 territories will be my forest here and my rather heavily populated farm. giving me 4 food, which is enough to do my enlist. So again, 2 money and a combat card to enlist my upgrade recruit, and I will put it to get me 2 power, taking me up to 2 power along with Pixel. And thankfully I'm safe from Pixel attacking me again because she can't move again, but what she will do is produce, and this is going to cost her a coin, a popularity and a power, and she'll gain 2 metal there, 6 oil on this space, and the bottom action is deploy, so she is going to spend the free metal to do so, unlocking her Disarm Power, which means before combat on a tunnel territory the opponent loses 2 power, and it's only fitting, being a tunnel power, that it appears on a tunnel space. And I will go for my factory power, so I'll pay a combat card to gain free money, and then I get to move 1 unit 2 hexes, and my character using speed is going to go 1, 2, 3, charging across the countryside and finishing on an encounter space. So I get an encounter card, and the options are to whistle while you wait for the geese to cross the road, gaining $2 and 1 popularity. Pay the girl for her pet geese, or as you call them, dinner. Pay $2 to gain 4 food. Or feed the geese to your animal and claim the farm as your own. Pay 2 popularity to build 1 structure. So I think the options I'm going to go for are the first 2, so I'll gain $2 but then I'll spend it on the second one. But I do gain a popularity, taking me to 3, and 4 food that I'm going to put in my forest here. So Pixel is going to move again, so I'm trembling in my boots as to what she may have planned. Firstly, she'll move him into the factory. Well, so far this isn't too bad. Then this mech is going to go through the tunnels, taking all these workers and all this oil with him to here, which is kind of not so good for me. So that's 1 space, and she has speed unlocked, so she can move a second space, and she's going to leave 1 worker there and take the rest into battle against my character. So looking at the power track, I have 2 that I can use in this battle, and Pixel has 1. So, you know, we can both only use 1 card, and we've got similar sort of power, so I might win this still. And we reveal, and I have put in 1 power. Meanwhile, Pixel also put in 1 power, but also a card for 2 power. So Pixel does win, causing my character to retreat. And we each go down 1 on this track, and I gain a combat card. And for winning yet another combat, Pixel gets another star on the Triumph track, so she has 3 stars to my 1 now. As her character finished at the factory, Pixel may pick one of the factory cards to take, and it's a bit of a no-brainer for her. She's going to take the military one. Now she has a factory card and 0 upgrades, so she completes this objective, meaning she can place a 4th star on the track. This is very imbalanced here. But it's now my turn, so maybe I can address this imbalance somewhat. I will do a move action, and all of my people are back at home base here because I keep getting beaten up. Well, I'll start by having this mech here move 1 and 2, picking up some workers on his way, and then my second movement I'll have a worker travel through the tunnel here. If he can fit, no, doesn't quite fit, but he's going to do it anyway, and he's going to travel to this tunnel space here, and then I can spend 3 wood to do a build action, and I'm going to build my monument on this tunnel space here. Pixel's going to do a nice simple bolster action, paying 1 coin and gaining 2 power. Also, she'll pay the free oil to do the upgrade action, and she's going to move her bolster 1 down here to make future upgrades cheaper. And because I've done my upgrade recruit, I gain a power. So I join Pixel on 2. Then I'll do my factory power, discarding a battle card in order to get 3 coins. And I can do a double move, so I'll move my character 1, 2, and then speed allows him to move an extra hex. So he's going to go through the mine, popping up over here on the other side of the board. So Pixel is going to do a produce action, which is going to be really expensive, costing a coin, popularity, and a precious power to gain 2 metal over here and 1 oil over here. Then she'll pay 3 metal in order to do deploy, which will be her final mech, her Riverwalk mech, who can help this guy protect that oil. And of course, it being her 4th and final mech, she places a 5th star on the triumph track, so we're at 5-1 at the moment. Not great odds for me, but it is now my go and my chance to redeem myself. So I'm going to go for a move action, moving 2 people, starting with my character going 1-2 because of speed to this space here, which will mean I'll get an encounter card to resolve at the end of the movement. And also this mech will go 1, drop a guy there, 2, to have a little fight with Pixel. Let's see how she likes the fight being brought to her. So for our combat, Pixel has 1 power and I have 2, so feeling good about this. So we do the reveal and, well, I put in a 5 strength card and 0 power. Pixel put in a 2 strength card and 0 power. So neither of us put any power in, but I still win because I used the more powerful card. So Pixel's mech retreats, gaining her a new combat card, and meaning I finally get to place another star on the triumph track, so readdressing the balance slightly. And then for my encounter, the options are to go fishing with the soldiers by posing as locals, gaining 2 food and 1 popularity. Bribe the soldiers for their mech, pay 4 money to deploy a mech. Or wait until dusk to invade the camp, pay 2 popularity to gain 2 food and 2 metal. So I'm going to go for the first option to gain 2 food and 1 popularity. And then also the second option to pay $4 to deploy a mech, taking me to 4 popularity and giving me my submerge mech, allowing me to use lakes, which can go just here. And then Pixel will bolster, paying 1 money to take her to 4 power. Then she'll also pay the 2 oil in order to upgrade, moving this cube here to down here. And because of my recruit, I gain 1 power, putting me to 3. I will then do my factory ability to pay a card and gain 3 money. Then I can move 1 unit 2, and my character's going to go 1, 2, travel through the mine with speed to have a fight with this mech here. Now, there is a worker here, so I will lose popularity if I win, but let's see. And then revealing, Pixel put in 2 power and a 2 power card, and I put in 4 power, which means we've got a draw. But in this game, it rewards the attacker, so I win for being the attacker. So Pixel's worker and mech have to retreat, and that takes Pixel down to 2 power and me down to 3 popularity, and Pixel gains a combat card. The final result is of course also that I get to place a 2nd combat star, so it's 3-5, I'm catching her up. And now Pixel is going to do her factory action finally, paying 2 coins to gain a recruit, and she'll gain the one for upgrades, and she'll gain it to, and she also gains 1 combat power for this, which takes her to 5. And she can move 1 unit too. So what she's going to do is move a mech out carrying a worker to here for 1, then pick up 2 of these workers, go 2 to all the way up here at this tunnel, and then leave a worker behind and go 1 final space to there because of speed. Then I am probably, unsurprisingly, going to choose to move. And now I have my submerge ability. I'm going to go 1, 2 because of speed and submerge. So I'll be getting an encounter at the end. And I will move this guy 1 to there. And the encounter options I have are to salvage ammo from a secret underground facility, gaining 2 power and 1 popularity. Bribe the researchers to give you an advanced weapon, pay $2 to gain 4 power. Or spy on the researchers' secrets after petitioning to befriend them. Pay 2 popularity to gain 1 upgrade and any 2 resources. Well, I'm going to go for the first 2 here because it'll give me a lot of power, which will help defend me from the aggressiveness of Pixel. So that takes my popularity to 4, and my power shoots right up to 9. So Pixel is going to bolster. Paying a gold to do so, she will gain 3 power, taking her to 8 power. And she'll then pay the 2 oil to upgrade. And she'll just move this cube off over to here. But it gains her 3 coins and 1 more power. And also me 1 power, putting me to 10 and her to 9. I will then, rather predictably, do my factory ability, paying my final combat card to gain free money and move someone 2 spaces. So my character is gonna jump into this lake here, submerge, coming out here, and then move 1 to there, which will give me an encounter. The options of which are to tamper with the draft documents to keep the family together, gaining $2 and 1 popularity. Deliver the conscription papers and payment, paying $3 to enlist a recruit, or strong-arm the family to take over their farm, paying 2 popularity to gain 1 worker and free food. Now I'm going to go with the first 2 options. So overall I have to lose 1 gold, or $1, and I gain a popularity and a recruit, taking my popularity to 5 and giving me my final recruit, which will give me 2 money, but more importantly, allowing me to place another star. So recruits, there we go, putting me up to 4 to her 5. I'm catching her up. But it's now her turn, so will that change anything? Well, she's going to move, and she can now move 3 different units. And she'll start off having this guy use an underpass to visit a tunnel, popping out over here. And then he has speed, so 1 more to put him into a fight with this mech here. But she still gets to finish moving the other people before resolving that. So she's going to move 1 worker there, and 1 worker there. And that's her movement done. Time to resolve this attack, which, when we reveal, we see Pixel has gone all in with a 5 strength card and 7 power from her track. I did the best I could with 7 power, given I had no cards. So, yeah, Pixel has won the combat. I retreat my unit. We both lose 7 power. And because of her faction, Pixel places her 3rd star in combat, which is her 6th star. So that ends the game. We're both in this first section here, so we'll get 3 coins each for our stars. So Pixel will get 18 coins for hers, and I only get 12 for mine. Then for our territories controlled, we're getting 2 coins each. So Pixel has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, plus the factory counts as 3, so 11, that's 22 coins. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 12 coins. Then we have our resources. We're getting 1 per 2 resources. Now, Pixel has no resources. I have a load of food here. So how much food have I got? I've got 6 food, so that's 3 coins. And our final way of getting score is for our buildings. So Pixel never actually built a single building, so she doesn't get any for this. I built 2 buildings, but only one of them was on a tunnel space, which was my monument here, so I get 2 extra coins. And totaling up, Pixel has 52 coins, and I have 51. I lost by 1, so congratulations to Pixel. And that is Scythe. I do hope that you found this video useful and entertaining, and of course if you have, please do check out the rest of the videos on the channel, as well as subscribe to the channel and sharing it with your friends and family. And also take a look at us on social media. You can find us on Facebook and on Twitter. And as always, thanks for watching, and bye for now.